February 11th, 2026, the Archdiocese of Maceió in Brazil issues a disciplinary note. Its message is stark. Attending the traditional Latin Mass anywhere except one single approved chapel constitutes public schism, and schism incurs automatic excommunication. The decree cites Canon 751, which defines schism as the refusal of submission to the Supreme Pontiff or of communion with the members of the Church subject to him. It cites Canon 1364, which imposes automatic excommunication on schismatics. The note is signed by the judicial vicar and published not on the Archdiocesan website but on Facebook. Now Guido Ferro Canale, an Italian canon lawyer, has weighed in. His assessment is cautious but pointed. First, he notes the absence of context. Does the Archdiocese face clandestine celebrations? Open conflict with the Archbishop? Without knowing the facts, analysis remains hypothetical. But Ferro Canale raises serious canonical questions. Schism, he explains, requires more than mere attendance at an unauthorized Mass. It constitutes schism only if accompanied by an explicit refusal of the authority of the Pope or of ecclesial communion. Mere material presence is not sufficient. What matters is the intention to separate oneself from the communion of the Church. This is crucial. The decree treats attendance itself as schismatic, but canon law requires evidence of intent, an obstinate refusal of communion, not simply a desire to worship according to ancient rites. Ferro Canale also highlights the procedural problem. Canonical penalties cannot be imposed on an indeterminate category of persons through a general decree. It would be necessary to identify concrete recipients, notify them of a precept or a warning, and only subsequently, in the event of perseverance, proceed to any sanctions. The Archdiocese's note, issued preventively and indiscriminately, has primarily dissuasive value. It is not a completed penal measure. Then there is the question of publication. Why Facebook? Why not the official website, where documents can be preserved and accessed reliably? Social media posts can be modified or removed. They lack the stability expected of canonical acts. Ferro Canale offers practical counsel to affected faithful. They could choose not to attribute particular relevance to the note. Alternatively, they could report the matter to the Holy See if they believe there has been improper use of the penal instrument. The deeper issue remains unaddressed. Traditional Catholics in Maceió now face an impossible choice: abandon the liturgy that nourishes their faith or risk being labeled schismatic. Yet the Vatican itself has recognized the validity of the traditional Mass. Popes have celebrated it. Saints have been formed by it. Is attendance at such a Mass truly a refusal of submission to the Pope, or is it an act of fidelity to the faith once delivered? The decree raises questions the Archdiocese has not answered, and until it does, the faithful are left in confusion, threatened with excommunication for loving the Mass of their ancestors.